she wanted to take serious scenes out of the movie and replace them with comedic scenes. So the audience would laugh, and it would be a lot more lighthearted, because that's what we all want, right? A lighthearted Star Wars movie. Do you remember how many laughs you had at the finale of the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi? Oh, it was just a laugh fest. And do you remember how you just were howling in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin's burning alive, slaughtering everyone, killing younglings? Oh, it was just a riot. Yeah, that's what we want in Star Wars, a laugh fest. My goodness. Hello everyone, Finaldeathstar here. Today's video, I am going to talk about another YouTuber and give him a certain amount of credit for what he has been recently doing. And this is someone we all know pretty well in the community by his videos. He's been around for a very long time. He details a lot of spoilers and potential leaks. Sometimes you wonder where he gets his information from, but it's always entertaining, and sometimes it's very, it seems to be really right on point. So he's always kind of played it a little more safe, a little more middle of the road, until recently. He's never really gone after LucasFilm or Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, directly. He's kind of played around the edges a little bit with it, but he's really gone after them in the last couple days. He's made a few videos, and I'd like to officially, or I guess unofficially, because I don't know if he'd ever actually accept it or want to be labeled as it, but welcome him to the Fandom Menace, because his position is definitely in line with a lot of ours. And that person, this spectacular YouTube hero, is Mike Zeroh. Yes, Mike, welcome to the Fandom Menace. Even if you don't officially want to align yourself, you are doing some great stuff, and it's a lot of stuff that we've been saying all along here. He did a video a couple days ago. Well, he did a video on why he didn't like The Last Jedi. He was very detailed, very critical, and then he made a follow-up video because he was getting a lot of people asking him, Mike, why don't you like The Last Jedi? Why would you say these things? And, he answered that in detail. Really tore the movie apart. And it was all from a story point of view. There wasn't bigotry. There wasn't racism. There wasn't any of this silly crap that, the other side likes to label us and, blame us for and say, well, that's why you didn't like the movie, because you're a bunch of white bigots and, it was a female lead and they were so stupid. But Mike he cut through all that crap, and he broke the movie down from a story point of view, character point of view, from Rian Johnson not respecting the lore and history, not understanding what subversion of expectations is supposed to look like in Star Wars. He did a great job. And now he's come out today against Kathleen Kennedy. And his video today is called Kathleen Kennedy Officially Destroys the Rise of Skywalker. And I watched this and I was just in awe, flabbergasted, I might say, at how he just ripped into Kathleen Kennedy. And I've never seen him be this vocal. Sure, he's never really been he's never supported The Last Jedi. I've watched his videos for a long time, and I could tell he was unhappy with the way things were going. But he hadn't really let himself be vocal about it, get off his true feelings. And I understand that, because I was similar when I started my channel, naive and hopeful to the future of Star Wars. And, soon it was clear that it was a lot worse than I thought originally. And I started changing and being a little more vocal and opinionated with my true feelings towards it. So I think Mike's done the same thing. I do not think this is some publicity stunt because, the tides are changing and more people are coming out against Disney's trilogy than ever before. I do not believe that. I think Mike, you're just letting your true feelings finally come out. It's beautiful to see your unbridled, I don't want to say hatred, but frustration with these movies. Dark Zero has emerged, and it's pretty fun to watch. Mike, I know you're not a big live stream guy, but if you happen to ever watch this video and you ever want to come on the Fourth Wave, we would love to have you as a guest. We'll treat you real nice. It's on author Stephen Walton's channel. He's the author of the Fandom Menace Volumes 1, and there's going to be at least 4 more. So if you want to come on, by all means, you have an open invitation to talk with us, chat with us. Let's talk about the last couple years and the process you went through, because we've all kind of been through the same thing. I certainly did go through the same thing, so it'd be fun to talk to you. Anyway, let's break it down here. I just made some notes, and I'm gonna kind of show a little montage of the video, just a couple clips where you can hear right from himself. Of course, I will link it down below, so you definitely check it out. Make sure you watch this video. It's kind of like he's having his Jeremy Jahns moment, I would say. There's the Jeremy Jahns video where he just kind of rips apart Disney for screwing over George Lucas, and Mike Zeroh's kind of having his Jeremy Jahns moment here. So he says Kathleen Kennedy's a terrible leader of everything Star Wars, because it was her idea to change the story and cause all these reshoots to happen. They had a pretty much finished cut from what he explains, and they went back and changed it because she wanted to make changes that directly impact the tone. She wanted to take serious scenes out of the movie and replace them with comedic scenes, so the audience would laugh and it would be a lot more lighthearted, because that's what we all want, right? A lighthearted Star Wars movie. Do you remember how many laughs you had at the finale of the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi? Oh, it was just a laugh fest. And do you remember how you just were howling in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin's burning alive, slaughtering everyone, killing younglings? Oh, it was just a riot. Yeah, that's what we want in Star Wars, a laugh fest. My goodness. So I think he's right on track there. If indeed it was Kathleen Kennedy's idea, terrible idea. He makes a comment about the Fortnite little scene we got where Rey uses her little mind trick, and it's kind of like a comedic moment that belongs right in a Marvel movie, and Disney doesn't get that Star Wars and Marvel are not the same thing, and they never will be. So they are just alienating their audience to the nth degree here. Okay, so it was Kathleen Kennedy's idea to make it more comedic and take serious scenes out. It was also her idea to cut Anakin out of the movie as a Force ghost, allegedly, if it's all true, of course, and replace it with just Hayden Christensen's voice at the end, where I guess there's all these Force ghosts that are inspiring Rey to, who knows, kill the Emperor, some crap, and he that's all he gets is a Force ghost voice. This is called Rise of Skywalker, and all we're getting is a voice apparently of Anakin. Terrible idea, because she didn't want focus to be taken away from Rey. Also, significantly cut scenes with Luke and Palpatine. There were supposed to be more scenes with them. She cut them out because, again, she didn't want it to take away from iconic Rey, her iconic Rey character that, is so underdeveloped that no one oh my god, it's Rise of Skywalker. You're not even going to show, you're going to cut off Anakin and cut down Luke's scenes? Insane. Oh man. Mike goes on to attack Kathleen and calling her decision the worst idea possible in a Star Wars film. The worst idea possible to make in a Star Wars film. With adding the humor and cutting out all this stuff. She has no idea what she's doing, and Mike says so. And he calls for her replacement. He says she needs to be replaced. So that's just some of the things he said. Again, watch the video. I'm going to play a little clip kind of montage here in honor of this spectacular video. I think it's really well done, and kudos to you, Mike, for letting your true feelings come out. Okay, so here's a little montage. So let's take a look here and just see a couple of the things he has to say.
So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about the Rise of Skywalker here, this sounds like a complete nightmare. And the reason as to why I say this is because how can you make this movie more comedic than that of The Last Jedi? That was by far one of the big, problems with The Last Jedi, is that the movie was way too comedic. It was over the top by Rian Johnson. And the fact that Kathleen Kennedy has the idea and actually has, the ability to make those decisions, of inserting more comedy into The Rise of Skywalker is honestly the worst decision possible that you could ever make in a Star Wars film. I don't know if you guys saw the exclusive clip on Fortnite the other day on that Fortnite video game, where they were actually, unveiling a new clip of The Rise of Skywalker where, Rey, Finn, and Poe infiltrate Kylo Ren's Ravager Star Destroyer. And basically, Rey uses a Jedi mind trick on the Stormtroopers. The comedy was so cringe beyond belief. I mean, the way the Stormtrooper makes a joke about, what she's doing to him, about the Jedi mind trick, to me, it really didn't come off as a Star Wars film. It almost looks like Marvel humor thrown into a Star Wars movie. Not saying that Marvel humor is bad, but it does not belong in Star Wars. It just doesn't. And I don't know when Disney is going to get this through their thick skulls, but Marvel humor does not belong in a Star Wars movie, period. So, moving on forward, alright, the biggest mistake of all time, the biggest failure by Disney and Lucasfilm, is how Kathleen Kennedy literally deleted Hayden Christensen's scene as Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost in his physical form at the very end of Episode 9, and reduced him to only becoming a Force Ghost voice. Once again, Kathleen Kennedy does not understand Star Wars. She does not understand what the fans want. You know what, actually, I take that back. I think that there's something else going on here. I think that they know about what the fans want. They're just not giving it to the fans. And I think that's very disrespectful to the hardcore fan base that really makes these Star Wars movies possible, that really makes them a success. And that's exactly why things have been declining, is because Disney and Lucasfilm are turning off the hardcore fans out there. It's called The Rise of Skywalker, but yet at the same exact time, this movie, the actual title was all about Rey, which, once again, why is this trilogy even called a part of the Skywalker saga is beyond me. The fact that it really has nothing to do with Luke, Anakin, or others, really, at the end of the day. Complete failure by Disney and Lucasfilm. A complete failure. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know, what the logic is here, but Kathleen Kennedy needs to be replaced ASAP. She really does. Somebody, anybody else that could just replace her, that understands Star Wars a little bit more than her, or is at least a person who respects the Star Wars franchise a little bit more than...
I've been waiting for that for a while because I knew you felt that way deep down. It's nice to see you being vocal about it. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Check out the video. It's in the link below here. And until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.